What's good, YouTube? This is probably gonna be one of my last rebuildings. I just had an interesting thing hearing and seeing other people's opinions about my Boston Celtics, um, with the Mobamba news and with Kyrie and Gordon Hayward being out and being out of the getting to the Eastern Conference Finals last year and this season and coming up short against the Cavaliers. People starting to jump on the bandwagon. Oh, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They was one game away. If they add Hayward and Kyrie, they might can compete with the Warriors. They have the size, they have the length, they have the score, they have the go-to guy, they have the all-stars. They have a great, excellent coach in Brad Stevens. So people want to jump on the bandwagon for that. But it's going to be difficult. Just like I said about the Golden State Warriors, it's going to be difficult to keep this team intact. As we've seen, even with Danny Ainge, he had a roster last year and is basically completely overhauled this season. And it was because of trying to clear space to get Gordon Hayward and having to trade a lot of assets that he accumulated over these years to get Kyrie Irving. And even though it worked to a certain extent because now you have three all-star caliber players and you have a good enough role players that you can transition and plug in and plug out throughout the years. But Gordon Hayward had a significant injury. We will not know how he will really be, and we don't know how healthy he will be. We don't know can he ever get back to where he used to be because you have players that once they get injured, they're never the same. They're not as explosive. Their defense decline. Injuries, you always come back worse. And you can look at the bright side that it is possible because you look at Paul George. He got a severe injury and he was able to come back and be an All NBA All Star player for multiple seasons. But majority of the players that go through major injuries like Gordon Hayward do, odds are you're never going to be back on that level. But best part about it is Gordon Hayward had the whole season to take his time, and he still got a couple more months. He doesn't have to rush because they have Jaylen Brown right now. They have Jason Tatum. They don't need him to be a superstar right out the box. They don't need him to be the old Gordon Hayward right away. But at the same time, you are paying this man a lot of money because they committed to 4 years to get him. And you don't want him to be a Damari Carroll where you think he's that missing piece. And same thing with Kyrie with the knee injuries. He keep having surgery on his knees, and he still hasn't been able to stay healthy. 1 minute he's going under the knife. Next minute is this problem. Next minute is that problem. So your two best players are injured significantly, and you play so well without them, but you also play well with Kyrie as a starter. But he's a free agent after next season. So if he comes back this season, he's a free agent after this. So the Celtics, we getting a lot of hype. We have eternal problems. Marcus Smart can opt in and become an unrestricted free agent next year, or he can be Matt. They can let him go by somebody giving him money, and they don't want to match, so they lose a good quality player that a lot of people like. I'm not a Marcus Smart fan, never have been, and still I'm not. But people do love Marcus Smart, his energy, his tenacity, his defensive focus, and he has a unique impact on the game. I give him credit on that. I'm just not a fan of him, but he's a guy that has been an integral part of this piece of this roster, and he hasn't. He can do his best for him, which is probably taking more money and getting another opportunity somewhere else. Same with Terry Rozier. He's going to be gone in this season or next because at the end of the day, he has to eat. This is a business. This is a career. So you want to have the best career you can have. You want to take, the best approach you can. You want to go out there and do and prove what you want to do because it is your career. Whether if you want to be a bench player, whether you want to be a starter, whether you want to go get money and become a superstar. Terry Rozier and Marcus Smart have those options to go somewhere besides Boston. And even if it's for the betterment of them, I cannot scrutinize them or chastise them because this is their decision, this is their career, and if free agency is a beautiful thing because you have a choice to pick teams that you want to be a part of and still get paid. So if Marcus Smart wants to become an unrestricted free agent next year, or if he wants to get a max offer or not even a max. If he want to sign an offer sheet for another team, then that's what he does. I'm not gonna be mad at him for leaving. But also, you have the fact that you have stars coming back. So Terry Rozier knows he's not going to get as many minutes if Kyrie comes back healthy, because Kyrie Irving is a significantly better player than Terry Rozier. I personally think Gordon Hayward, when healthy, is significantly better than Jason Tatum. Significantly better than Jason Tatum. But he's also younger, and he also fits well with the team, and he hasn't had that injury like Gordon Hayward. But if Gordon Hayward comes back because he's been off for a year and becomes that all-star caliber player that we've seen in the Western Conference, um, then Jason Tatum not going to get as many minutes either. And Jaylen Brown might be the starting shooting guard because he is a more defensive-minded guy and he is more of a role player. Even though I think Jason Tatum is a role player too, I see him more of as a six-man because he creates his shot more often than Jaylen Brown, who can play more within the system and he does what he has to do. Jason Tatum kind of need the isolations and stuff like that. Jaylen Brown really don't play like that unless he's trying to get to the paint. Other than that, he fits more systematically with Gordon, with Al Horford, with Kyrie. And we said the same thing about Kyrie Irving. You know, going into Boston, he's ISO, he's not a team player, but that was part of his challenge. You know, going to Boston, he was able to show his talent. Going to Boston, he was able to be efficient without LeBron. He was able to be clutch when they needed him. He was able to carry a team. I wouldn't say carry, but he was able to be the best player on the roster. Um, this season and contribute to winning. Remember, they was the number one team in the NBA at one point. They was the number one team in the East at one point, and he missed 20 games this year, and it was because of his knee and other injuries. And he always been injury prone, and he already had the knee injury before Boston. So I think, rebuilding this team is going to be trying to get people focused on the goal. And the goal is to win a championship. So Marcus Smart might have to sacrifice. Terry Rozier may have to sacrifice, but they're only really taking a pay cut for a year. If Marcus Smart opt into his deal, he gonna get paid a couple million. That's better than what all of us make, but he obviously can make more money. But at the same time, if he opts into his contract and become an unrestricted free agent, he can sign a deal longer and don't have to worry about being matched by Boston. We already know that Boston can't offer him that much money because we have Kyrie, we have Gordon, we have Al Horford making so much money. We're not going to be able to offer Marcus Smart the money that he really wants and he might deserve. Same with Terry Rozier. We're not going to be able to offer him a max contract. We're not going to be able to offer him starting minutes because Kyrie is significantly better. So he's going to be gone unless we keep him because Kyrie a free agent next year too. So at the end of the day, it's all about sacrificing. You have a coach that's willing to cater to personnel, get the best out of personnel, and utilize them the right way. But at the same time, it's tough because people need to sacrifice for them to be able to achieve that goal of winning the championship. Beating Golden State is not going to be an easy task. Beating Philadelphia, we beat them this year, but they beat themselves a little bit too, and we took that and we went to the Eastern Conference Finals. But we don't know what they're going to do over in Philly, and we don't know what they're going to do in the NBA. So we have to be prepared. We need as much talent as we can so we can come out of the East and have a chance to win the championship. The whole point about coming out of the East is to win a championship and play in the finals. And we're going to need Terry Rozier. We're going to need Marcus Smart. And even worst case scenario, somebody get injured and we have another person that we can trust that can play the positions and run the offense, whether if it's Gordon Hayward, whether if it's Kyrie Irving, whether if it's even Aaron Baines coming in for Al Horford. You want to have that diversity in those type of players on your bench for a championship run because you have that next man up mentality, but at the same time you also have that knowledge of I know Aaron Baines know what he's supposed to do. I know Aaron Baines knows the system. I know what Aaron Baines brings to the table. So you're not even like this year when Kyrie and Gordon went down, we never got depressed. We never got angry. Never started whining about it. We went out there and played basketball. We went out there and went on a 16-game winning streak and was professional about it. And we went to the Eastern Conference Finals for the last 2 years. And even though we can't just say if they had Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward next year they're going to make it to the finals, we can't say that because we don't know what the other team is going to do. We don't know the other trades. We don't know where the free agent's going to go. And open-mindedly and realistic as a fan as I am, I'm not going to be blinded by the fact that teams going to get better. And even if we do come out the East, we still have to be the tough team out of the West to even win the championship. So sacrificing is the number one thing. You're not going to get as much money. You might not get as much playing time, but you contribute into something special, which is winning the championship. And not too many players can say they have it. Not too many players can win one. And we're starting to see that year after year after year, that certain players get close, certain players never even get to the finals, and to be a part of something special like that is beautiful. And in Boston, we have an opportunity, talent wise, coach wise, that we can be one of the best teams in the NBA, just like we was this year. Health is a major concern, but every team deals with injuries. Every team um, gonna have that problem, so we can't use that as a cop out for why we can't win a championship. But also, people got to put their egos and their personal life aside if they're really down for the mission to win the championship. So we might not get any big free agents. We might not even have enough money to even draft a player and keep them on the roster, because right now we have the 27 pick. And I don't even know if we even keep this pick at this point. And even if we do, this person is not going to get paid that much money to even contribute at the 27 pick. So that person may not even get playing time besides in the G League and Summer League. And those are the type of players that you develop, but at the same time, you know that they might not be a part of the big plan or the bigger picture. And I don't really see no free agents that we can possibly get. Kawhi Leonard, I don't think that's going to work because Kyrie is not on the level of Kawhi Leonard. They both got injury problems, and you don't need more forwards because you already got Tatum, Brown, Hayward, and I can go on and on. You don't need Kawhi Leonard. He is one of the best players. He is one of the best players in the league, and you don't need him because you do need a point guard. You do need somebody that can create their own shot, and Kyrie showed that he can be efficient, and they both got major injuries. And on top of that, Kyrie Irving will be a free agent, so even if we want to keep him, he's younger, and on top of that, why not keep him for that salary that he's on right now? And Kawhi Leonard is eligible for a super max, and he can get paid even more money just staying in San Antonio anyway. Plus, he already knows the coach, the system, his house, and everything is in San Antonio, and they offer him the most money that anybody in the league can offer him at $219 million. So I doubt he'd come over anyway. But we don't need no more forwards. We don't need no more wings because we have abundance of those already. We just need people to buy into the concept that winning comes first, and if they're able to do that, then we can take this roster and try to go out there and compete for another championship. Check out my website at analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description and in the comment section below. Like on Facebook, Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis. I'm gone. And if you got any questions about the Celtics or anything you think, let me know in the comment section below, and I'm gone.